you guys hear us? We're using a new mic, so I want to make sure that you guys can hear us. If you could, you just type something to us. So anyway, welcome to Dharma Discussions. I'm Lynn.
I'm Jody.
And he's my husband.
And she's my wife,
just so you know, yeah. In case you guys are the first time joining us. So Dharma Life is Jody's business, but also we have this little program that we created every Saturday at 9 o'clock in Singapore's time, or 9 a.m. EST. And Dharma Discussions is a program we decided to create because we decided to bring the discussions that we have at home as a couple out to kind of bring it out to the public.
Yes, I think it also want to create this safe space, allowing us to share, also to be heard at the same time. By no means we're here to make judgment.
Oh no, we're not here to tell you what to do or to judge anyone. Neither do we want to be judged. We just want to create an environment where we could discuss topics that affect us or topics that we're interested in, or maybe a bit of sensitive topics or topics that requires us to be vulnerable. And to share freely about how we feel and the fears that we have over various different topics, which may be sensitive to talk about, but we love to talk about them. And we want this platform to be a space where we can speak on these topics freely, respectfully, and to learn. I guess for me, the ultimate aim is truly to have a deeper understanding of you, a deeper understanding of me. Mm-hmm. And then together, I feel that I could grow.
Yes, and also through this platform, by you guys sharing as well, so we can probably cultivate some collective wisdom.
Which is why we call it discussions, because we really want a lot of interaction, if possible, to get more discussions going between all of us. You guys could write to us in many ways. You could just fill in the comment section here. Or if you're a bit shy, you could also WhatsApp us, and we would be able to at least see your comments or talk about or mention your questions anonymously.
So you can see the runner down there, 83689232 is a Singapore number. So send us a text message on WhatsApp.
Yeah, things like that. So you guys can hear us all right? Just wanted to check. Yeah, because no one is reacting back to us, to their viewers. But yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys can hear us fine. Okay, so the topic today that we have is an interesting topic, because last week we talked about, finding love again, because we're both divorcees and this is our second marriage. And then we were kind of lost to what to talk about this week.
And so we were looking into vows, and then you came up with, okay, look at these vows. I mean, vows has been going on for how many centuries?
Oh, yes. The traditional vows that we're familiar with. In case you guys don't know what vows we're talking about, the wedding vows that we see on TV, we see friends in church, to have and to hold from this day forward, for better for worse, for richer for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish till death do us part.
Yes.
This is the one that I know of, the most traditional ones. Of course, you guys can come up with your own versions, but this is the one that we know of.
I think this vow has been going on for like hundreds of years, right?
Oh, yeah. The oldest traditional wedding vows can be traced back to the medieval church and first published in 1549.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah, why are we talking about wedding vows, right? Because we are writing our wedding vows. I'm writing wedding vows. And then I'm like Googling it. And of course, naturally, I will come across the traditional vows. And I've always liked it. I find it really romantic.
Yes.
I find it really romantic. And I found it really, but yet now I read it again now, being my second marriage. I'm like, is it really realistic? Am I promising something that's too much? It feels so all-encompassing, this vow.
Yes, it is. It is a vow, right? It's not just simply a promise.
Yeah, it's a vow. Like I vow in my whole life
So you swear by God.
Yeah, so I really kind of want to, therefore, it's my inspiration for today's topic. So let's talk about the wedding vows.
So do you know what you have signed up for? Right?
Yeah, do we know what we're signing up for? We make
It's kind of
a
like-
vow to each other.
Like you buy an insurance policy, and then sounds all great from
Yeah.
the insurance agent.
Yeah, I buy lots of insurance policies for my health, especially for health, right? Hospitalization and health.
But do you actually read the terms and
It
conditions?
doesn't cover everything, you know. There's a lot of T&Cs. You must be X number of hours in the hospital, like I think 4 hours checked in or admitted for 4 hours and above before you can claim. Certain illnesses you can't claim. There's a lot of T&Cs.
Yeah. So when you actually look deeper into the detail of it, it is not quite what you expect.
Yeah,
Right?
I just thought I buy an insurance policy. It guarantees me, like, you know, but it's not the case.
No. So here's the part, right?
Yeah.
We go into marriage,
Yeah.
and then we were asked to say a vow.
Mm.
It was rather simple when we actually
Yeah.
read through it.
You
But
don't
the
need to be too
meaning of
long
it-
anyways, right? Like
Yeah.
a minute long.
But when you read through it, and this is a vow, is it something that we quite understand what it means?
So let's dissect it a little bit.
Yeah. Well, look, till death do us part. What does that actually mean? So I'm making a vow. If this really didn't work out, so the only way for me to get out is either I die or you die or both of us die, right?
Yeah, maybe. If you take it so literally that death means the life, right? That's what it meant anyway. That's how the Roman Catholic Church meant when they wrote this, to death do us part.
So the physical death of either one or
I'm
both of us.
asking you because you're the Catholic between us.
Yeah, that is what it says in there.
Uh-huh.
But if a marriage didn't really work out, what defines the death? Is it the death of the person, or is it a death of the relationship?
Exactly.
There you
Sean asked a question. Is the vow singular? The wedding vows. So are you correcting my English? Yes, it's the wedding vows. It's the vows.
No, it's a vow by me,
Yeah.
but the same thing.
I had to do the same vow, right?
Yeah, so it is a vow that I make, right?
I to him, him to me.
Right.
So to death do us part, now I read it, it's like maybe the death of the relationship. Then I will part with you. Not like my physical death when I leave the world kind of death.
That kind of like makes sense to
I
me.
can resonate with that.
So what defines the death of a relationship, and who says it? Who defines it? Who declares it?
Ooh, that's a good question. If the relationship is the both of us, if one of us feel that it's over, then maybe
Does that mean it's over, right?
I guess so.
Ultimately, it does take two hands to clap. If so, one declares that this is over.
And if I don't feel that way, then maybe I would try to change your mind. But if I can't, then I can't, right? What can I do?
Yes. So I still recall the time when my first marriage wasn't really working out well,
Mm-hmm.
and I went to see the marriage counselor.
Okay.
And the first thing she asked is how I felt, and I remember very strongly how I felt about it. And there was still a lot of energy, though the feelings were
A lot of emotions.
yeah, but these were very negative emotions. I was angry, I was disappointed, I was scared. There were a lot of those things. But when I look into it, there's still a lot of energy in there.
A lot of feelings.
Yes, and so the marriage counselor basically said, yes, that's a good sign. At least there's still energy, so we can always convert the energy from negative to positive.
So you're saying that even though the emotions were negative emotions, negative feelings, if more negativity than positivity, but the fact that there's still a lot of energy involved in that relationship means that it's not dead.
No, quite right. So it is. There's still energy, and then all we have to do is change the perspective, and then our feelings may change.
Yeah.
But there must be energy there. But so that's the reason when people say the opposite of love is not actually anger or hate, it's actually indifference. I have no feelings
now.
or now at all.
I I think that now that you mention it, when I recall my marriage, we went through a divorce and we actually got back together a year and a half later for a year and a half or so. And the second time round, when it didn't work out, there were no drama, there were no feelings. There was just, like this. It was like that. Like nobody even knew we split up. It was just like you say, like there were no hard tears. There were no
So he was just simply your flatmate.
No. He was away, and I think it's time for us to just split. It's like, yeah, and that was it. It was like that. Like
Yeah.
I think we've been going on this. It doesn't seem to be working out, right? Yeah, and it was okay, and there was no drama. There's no nothing, and then we just moved on. So that was, to me, it feels like the nowness that you mentioned. There were no like, wow, I cannot be crying to my friend or nothing.
Yeah, I think that was it. The only regret I had was at that time because other people were involved, particularly my children, right? So that was the only thing that I had energy about. But as far as the relationship between myself and my ex-wife, at that time, it was literally.
Okay, that's a good indication.
Yeah.
So I guess for couples who feel that things are over, but yet there's still a lot of feelings involved, it actually may not be over. That's what you think, because they're just overwhelmed with so much sadness and negativity.
Yeah. So
the current moment.
Go and seek for help. Yeah, that works.
Sean has a few comments. So connecting to what you said, Jody, does the vow mean that you only can have a singular intimate relationship and I mean emotionally intimate, not necessarily physical?
Well, I don't know about that though. Can I just have one intimate relationship with one person?
We talked about this before, about monogamy. Yeah, remember? I think it just reminds me of the topic we discussed some time back about monogamy, and that it is possible to love many at one time, more than one. As long as everyone is happy, I think it really works out.
To me, I think if it is in the open, nobody gets hurt, and everybody is happy about it, and everybody can benefit and grow. I don't see the reason.
Why not?
Yeah.
I know of friends who are very happily in non-monogamous marriages. Seems really successful. They've never been closer than ever or happier than, and both of them are equally happy, and that works.
So when we come back to that vow, so what am I really promising? If we look into this whole this whole
vow,
thing,
right?
Yeah. If we dissect it, right? So now the first part, we're kind of like looking from the back.
From the back
Till death do us part. So
my
understanding and how I would like to really look into the death part is not physical death, but it's a death of the relationship.
Yeah, like there's no more love.
No, exactly.
There's no more intimacy. There's nothing.
Yeah.
Death will be nothing. You don't exist. So when the love doesn't exist, that to me will be when I would want the part two.
Yes.
Yeah.
Quite right.
Okay. Next point. To love and to cherish.
Yeah.
It's
well,
nice,
I think
no?
It is nice. It's beautiful, but
to love naturally.
Is that it?
Cherish. Let's say cherish means to protect and love. To protect and care for lovingly with affection. I like that. It's nice.
Yeah, I like that too. But
cherish.
To me, is there more to it?
You think there's some things missing?
Okay, I love you to death, and I will cherish you affectionately. But what about respect? Respect in the sense that do I treat you as an equal? I will protect you like a child, just like I love my children, right?
And I cherish my children. It's true.
Yeah, and I will protect them, but obviously, when it comes to decision making,
I don't trust you to decide
exactly
anything. I'll decide everything for you.
Yeah. That is out of good intention.
Out of love as well.
Indeed, yes, and out of cherish for me to protect you. Will you be happy?
Me? No.
Obviously not, right? And knowing her, she will do the same to me, and will I be happy?
Sometimes I have to. You can't decide on things, right? What do you have for dinner, darling? Anything. So I have to decide.
Yeah, fine. Those is
I know.
at least you ask.
Yes, I always ask.
So is the respect, the treating you as an equal partner, a part of this?
But you know, these vows were made so long ago, and it was kind of revised to this version in the 1920s. In those days, I don't believe women were equal. So I guess when they wrote this, it was never about equality. It never even came to their mind there's such a thing called equality between the sexes.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's why certain things are not put in, like respect or whatever else. Because the list is very long of things that you want to put in to promise each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me,
I guess it gets too long. Maybe then you write your own vows, personalize your own
True.
vows, maybe.
For me, so this just to love and to cherish. I think there need to be a
It's
lot
not
more to
enough.
that. No, nowadays I think to me, I think this is given in a way, but
It is a given, yeah?
it is a given, right? If not, you wouldn't have a relationship in the first place, right?
Yeah.
But do I respect you, and more importantly, do I trust you as a partner, as an equal? I think that trust is very important. I don't think it's anywhere near that. I will never trust my child to make decisions, of course, right?
Mm-hmm.
At this stage, she's only 4 years old. Particularly 11 and 14
that
sometimes.
brings
right?
me to my next point. I think about, like, I'm going to write a will. I'm writing a will. And as someone who writes a will, I need to find what we call the executors. I got to find executors. So then I'm going to find executors, executioners. I don't know. What's the right? Something like that. So I got to find one or two. So you find people that you can trust, right?
Mhm.
To execute your will properly.
Mhm.
It's not easy to find.
No. Now, the will I ask you is not that I don't trust, but do I want to put you in that situation to execute my will? Because there will be complications.
You're not my You're not my
Yeah,
chosen
exactly.
executor
So-
for my will either. I want, like, for example, my mom. I trust her with my life. I trust her judgment, but she's too old, so she cannot be my. So I will find someone younger than me that I can trust. Not easy, yeah.
No, it is not. No,
It's not easy.
it is. And so here's the part, right? To love and to cherish. How about the trust? How about
The respect.
The respect of
Loyalty. It's not
Uh,
written there anyway, huh? That you must be a monogamous marriage. It's not written in the vows.
It is true, actually.
It's not written because it was not meant to be. The man was not held on to it. It was just a one-sided woman's affair. The women must be monogamous.
Okay.
Yeah, just saying. Okay, the next one. Oh, before we get there, there's some comments. I think you need to leave all your money to me, Lynn. Okay, I'll think about it, Sean. But I need to find someone younger.
He is, isn't he?
Sean is younger than me.
You would like to think so.
Okay, anyway, I'm 41 this year, so you figure out.
Sure, go and bid for that job. And you and I can talk.
So, next point, in sickness and in health. Yes. Sounds like a given, right?
Yeah, I think I will still hang by you in sickness and in health for sure.
But to what extent? I'm like, it sounds good. It sounds quite literal and very straightforward. But just like insurance, medical insurance plans, it's not all encompassing, my friend. A lot of things they don't cover. Even death, not everything is covered, So why am I promising something that's all encompassing when even our medical insurance can't even promise me that? When I buy an insurance plan, it will cover every single thing 100%. They don't. But yet I kind of have to with my marriage.
You don't have to, but it's just in the vow. But what do you mean?
I'm promising it, right?
Yeah, you're making a promise. You're not just making a promise.
I like to keep my promise,
Yeah.
I like to keep my vow, which I feel is even deeper than a promise.
Mm-hmm.
I vow, right? So I vow to stick with you in sickness and in health.
So
in
if
health, okay, don't talk about the good things, but in sickness.
So if I become mentally
like
incapacitated
or something like that.
Yeah.
or I don't know, comatose for long periods of time, like in a coma, or you become such a pain in the ass. I don't know why, but maybe because you have some, I don't know, things. I could be the pain in the ass because I have a really bad illness, or then and it could be happen at any point in time. Not just like, okay, your old age in your 70s or 80s and that happens, the body breaks down. What happens when it's just like now when I'm in my 40s and I become paralyzed and we can't get intimate sexually anymore? And what's going to happen then? I'm still in my 40s, I'm still very much awake, alert, but I can't. I don't feel nothing. Then how?
Well, I don't
You
know.
know, things like that.
I think that's the part that, are we okay to let the other person go?
You know, yeah, we put it in the vow. Why should even this be in the vow? But if we did this, then I'm like, wrong if I do, wrong if I don't. Either way, it's just, firstly, it's a sad situation to be in. I hope that we'll never be in such a situation.
But I do know a lot of people who are in that situation.
Correct. And they get so much judgment for what they choose to do. And the judgment comes from this. I feel from the vow that everyone knows. You're married, you have to be together in sickness and in health. And you don't want to be left behind if you were the one that was sick. So there's so much, just talking about it, I feel like, wow, it's very overwhelming.
Yeah. To me, I would be more than happy to let you go rather than, because to me, my biggest fear is I become a liability. Right? I'm holding you back. Because the very reason of a marriage or any form of partnership is so that we can be a better version of ourselves, right? That's my definition. And here I am, because of this, I'm holding you back. And it is totally against my own values. So I would rather say, hey, I cherish your love.
I'll be like, who's going to take care of you?
Well,
then I feel like because I'm your wife, I would definitely want to, and I feel very much obligated to, or vice versa.
Yes. Taking care of, I'm sure we can find the care, but a marriage is a lot more than just the care, right?
True, I'm not your nurse. Neither
exactly. We can have a nurse. We can have a professional care for that. It doesn't mean our relationship from that point onwards is terminated. But then again, can we still function as really a partner, husband and wife? I don't know. If I can no longer perform my duty as a husband, should I not remove myself from there? It does not mean that I'm out of your life.
When you put it like that, like duty, I mean, there's what defines the duty of a husband? I mean, sex is just one part of it. Then there's other things like, taking care of the kids, I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of things, right? Just
to be helping the household chores, to finances, to all these different pillars.
Yeah, the life partner.
Yeah,
the partnership.
Like there's so many pillars that we fill up. And if one is not functioning or two is not functioning, that means that you're out.
I don't know. I think that requires a conversation rather than make it into a general policy as such that I expect you to stick by me.
Yeah, it's such a difficult topic to talk about when it comes to health. I mean, like now we can talk about it because we are both fine. I don't know how, I cannot make agreements with you now thinking that I'm fine. I don't know how I will feel when I'm not fine or when you are not fine. That maybe I made an agreement with you now, I will stick with you no matter what. But when something happens, I may question my agreement.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I don't know. It's really a difficult, challenging situation.
I think it's open to a conversation should it happen.
But I really empathize with any couples who are in such a situation.
Yeah, me too.
It's a terrible situation to be in for all
but
parties.
if you're happy and willing to, that's a different story, right?
Yes, of course.
But if you feel that it is an obligation as a result of there was a vow that I made, and now I have to live with that, that changes the whole dynamic of that relationship.
And there's a lot of resentment.
I'm sure there will be.
Sometimes there could be what comes in and out, but I guess if you have resentment every day for months and years, then I guess it's very toxic.
To me, so one side is resent, the other side is feeling guilty. To me, I will feel awfully guilty by really, really holding you back. Unless you tell me that you really enjoy doing it, that's a different story. So
I think either way is the difficult.
Yeah, but I certainly would not like
a marriage vow like this is quite.
Yeah,
I don't know. My vow to you, I don't think I'll mention this. But think about it. It's not easy. Yeah, I see. We have a comment here. Easy to say that you let her go, but she'll definitely be judged by the rest of the world. You see, there's a lot of judgment that comes with it. And why do we have all this judgment? So I tell you, it's partly to do with the vows.
But here's the part, right? I don't know why people like to judge when it is none of their business.
Yeah, you don't walk in the shoes. You don't know how difficult the guy could be or the woman could be. You don't know how tough it can be.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also guilty of being judgmental, especially a lot more when I was younger. But I guess something to be, it's just so easy to judge, right? You judge mothers, you judge fathers, you judge men. Like I used to always think that, men who cheat are bad guys. I will never do business with them because a person who cheats on his wife is a cheater and he will cheat on me in the business. I mean, it's not a wrong philosophy, right?
It's not. No, it's a logical assumption.
Okay, that's a good.
It's not a philosophy as such, right?
Okay, better phrase. It's an assumption, a logical assumption. So I held on to that for a long time.
That becomes your belief.
Yes, it became belief that men who cheat are dishonest men that I'll never do business with. Okay, but then after I went into this program, this spiritual program, meditation. I went 1.5 years. So I got close to more people, and of course, a bit more open-minded, open-hearted. And I met one of this guy who was there, and we talked a lot and we shared. And I realized that through him, it was hard because he had no more love. He was suffering in his marriage. He was really suffering, and he wants love so much, but he can't get it, not with his current marriage. And then I realized that actually it's not like that. That's what I feel. Because again, I'm not in his shoes. But yet I was so easy to judge and label him as such.
So there you go. I think judgment is, unless you're in that shoe.
That's right. So only when I stop my judgment and I really listen and I realize that, wow, I wouldn't want to be in that marriage too. Who am I to judge him because he wants to find love elsewhere? And when he did find love elsewhere, he's been with that love for years, but he's still married.
Yeah.
So, but then through him, I realized that I threw this judgment away.
No, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
But
it starts with me putting it away and listening and having an open heart. Yeah, judgment is the way to assume we know better than others. Yeah, like I think I'm very smart, right? I like to think I'm very smart.
She still says that actually.
I like to think I'm very smart.
It's okay.
I just assume,
it's okay.
I'm right.
It's okay to think that you are smart. It just doesn't mean that you're smarter than others, right?
I like to think that too. I'm so guilty of that. Thinking I'm smarter than people. I guess it's my inferiority complex because I've never studied I've never been able to go to a university. My education is just like tertiary, and I had to go work. This is just the life I had. I had to keep working. It's not something that my family could afford.
Okay.
So, so to me, maybe I keep having this, like a chip on my shoulder that I need to kind of prove that I'm smart, even though I never went to university to kind of have a certificate to say that I'm smart. So I try always to maybe feel like I'm smart. I don't know. I'm just saying out loud. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's why I'm like that.
Okay, fine. Going to university to you is someone who is smart.
I like to think that I'm smart for someone who never went to have higher education.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
Anyway, coming back to our main
coming back
topic.
to this, ultimately it's down to this judgment thing,
Yeah.
and also down to
And how we judge people, we really shouldn't.
but when it comes to the promises that we have in sickness and in health, for me, I think it's something that we need to have a conversation
when
all
it
the
does
time.
happen to us. Yeah.
But to me, for sure, I do not want to hold you back, because to me, it's not for you, but it's just my principles, my values. You want to stay, by all means do, but don't use that as an account or because of you.
Yeah, I think that's not very nice.
No.
Yeah, if I chose to stay,
It's actually
and
your own choice.
if I choose not to stay, it's my choice, and I should be brave enough to bring it up and discuss it with you. I'd be brave enough to face the world with my decision and not let the fear of society oppress my life.
Yes.
So really depends.
And facing that world, is it just imaginary?
Correct.
Or is just simply what they say? They can say whatever they want to say.
Correct. But I tell you, all this kind of fear really paralyzes you.
Yeah.
What you fear, what people would say.
Yeah.
But actually, no one talks anything about you because nothing is about you. Just think the whole world is about you. Okay, so moving along. Next one, for richer, for poorer. Quite straightforward again.
Yeah, I think that's quite straightforward. So
it's always good doing it in good times, right? So when you see a lot of these like couples and all. I was just having a conversation with you. I don't know, one of the nights. It was like, because we've been married for 5 years.
Yeah.
We've been together for 5 years. And I was saying in the last 5 years, we've been through a lot. Business woes, mine, his, kids, woes, stuff, So it's not like we were in the woohoo, everything was good, like wow, floating with lots of finances and everything was smooth sailing. So when things are smooth sailing, things are good. Like I've been in relationships where everything was just whoa, great, It's when things are not smooth sailing, when there are lots of different obstacles and challenges, not within us, but around us, that makes it, especially when it comes to money-related matters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very challenging in a relationship. And I felt like, good times when you have lots of money, it's easy. But when things are not so easy financially, and it's one of those tests,
Well, didn't you I thought you brought up once that the best way to test a man is when he has the money.
Yeah. The best way to test, for the greatest test for women is when their husbands are poor. The greatest test for men, for the husbands, is when they have a lot of money.
So think about that.
Think about it.
Think about that.
Yeah, it's a good test,
Yeah.
Yeah, 男人有钱啊. Havoc.
So there goes her judgment call, right?
No, I read this somewhere, and I think it's true. It's a test. I'm not saying you failed it. I'm not saying it's a test. And I passed. You passed. We all passed. We did well.
But we'll see.
Okay, moving on. This is the hot button for me. For better, for worse.
Yeah, me too.
It's like, again, like I say, when things are good, it's easy. But when things are not good, it really tests the resilience of a couple. The resilience.
I agree with that. So here's the part, right? So if you become worse as a person, am I here to stick by you?
You say worse as a person, you don't mean health, right? You mean like
no, in
character.
Yeah, character, personalities. Yeah. So you take the best version of me, you also take the bad version of me, right? The good and the bad. Yes, that.
I meant like my snoring.
Yeah, but in terms of personality-wise, if you just become worse, and you say he'll take me anyway, he will have to accept me anyway, and I just simply completely and utterly spoil myself and become the worst version of me, that won't work.
When I read this statement, I didn't think of that. I was thinking of situation like we are in a good circumstances and bad circumstances.
That's for rich and poor. That's as far as
So
I'm
that's
concerned.
money, but it's not always about money.
Yeah.
When I say worse, something like, situations,
Like
like, I
what?
don't know, maybe you are in a war-torn country, something happened, like volcano or kids, external factors, still, but it's like circumstances is not smooth, like COVID happening or.
But wouldn't we be going through the same situation?
So the situation is not good, it's worse.
Okay. Yeah.
It's not better,
Okay.
it's worse.
For me, I thought it was the personality,
Maybe yours
the
makes
characters.
sense, lah. Maybe yours makes sense.
Yeah.
So they covered health already, and they covered health and covered wealth. So maybe this is the person.
Yes. To
Okay.
me, it is the person.
I guess you make sense. Yeah. What
So
you're
it is the
saying.
person.
Mm.
I thought the very reason why I want to be in a relationship with you, aside from this partnership, is because we can make each other to be a better version of ourselves. I'm not here to change you, nor are you here to change me.
This I think of another quote.
Okay.
I think of another quote that I remember. Like if the man could accept the worst of me, I could give him the best of me, something like that. When I remember this quote, it rings to me because when I got divorced, my first marriage, I was really overweight and I was not accepted to be overweight. I was really condemned. I was blamed, whatever. So that to me was like the worst. Like you couldn't take me for when I'm overweight. So when I'm not overweight anymore, I just felt like you don't deserve this good of me either.
Yes.
Because you can't take the bad when I'm like overweight and not slim and sexy. So I'm not gonna be with you slim and sexy because you don't deserve it.
That I agree.
I meant physically lah.
Yeah. But if you deny to improve yourself and you defend yourself and say this is just me, and you know that is not a better version of you, and you can do better, but you refuse to, that's a different story. Right? One is circumstantial, that okay, I'm going to work on it, and I will stick by you to work on it. But if you say take it or leave it, I'm just like this, and then from that point onwards, you become worse, right? So it's not about the worst; it's you become continue worsen. And so that's an indication that this relationship is not bringing a better version of you.
True.
So that becomes a problem.
But maybe that happens with someone like me because it's just I'm going through something. Like the person is going through something.
Yeah.
It's got nothing to do with you. Correct.
No, that's true. So if you're going through something, so here I am as a partner, stand by you to help you go through it. So that's the situational thing, right? But if it's a character or personality flaw, I become more egoistic.
Yeah, correct.
I have my pride. I become more egoistic. I make everything about me.
Yeah, you just
and then,
keep belittling me.
Yeah. So as a take it or leave it, for better or worse, you just have to accept me.
Yeah, you marry me, you know I'm like that. What?
Exactly. That won't be
Then
fair.
I'm like, yeah, I know you are like that, but I don't expect you to be like that all the time, every day.
And it gets worse, right?
Yeah, like being more obnoxious or etc. More chauvinistic or whatever the person may be. Yeah, I think that would be a bit. Or keep taking it for granted.
Yes. So when I take you in, yes, the good part, the bad part, I'll take it all in.
Correct.
And then we're supposed to make each other to be a better version of ourselves. And if that part does not work out, then that's the part that we think, is this marriage really working? Because I'm bringing the worst out of you.
I also feel that one part of this is really sticking by each other through thick and thin.
That I agree.
That also encompasses it. It's not a personality thing, but like I'm going through something like at work.
Yes.
At business, or you are going through something, maybe with your family, and whether I agree or don't agree with whoever or whatever, but the circumstances that I am under is not the greatest, and I have a partner to stick by me
Yes,
counts for a lot.
indeed. Yeah, that I will.
Because I didn't get that in my first marriage, and that was the key for me leaving it the second time.
Yeah, for me, it's the
It's
same
like,
thing.
I'm going through a major lawsuit with someone very close to my heart, and you didn't stick by me, and yet he didn't stay by me. In fact, he blamed me, and he got himself out of it through talking to them. He spoke to them privately and got himself out of it. Then I'm like, and you kind of like left me to defend myself against like the enemies. And you, my husband or my partner, just went off, got yourself off the hook in a sense, and it left me be. And I tell you, that was like the biggest betrayal. It was worse than the betrayal from that friend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I did.
So then, but that also told me, hey, then this guy cannot. Only around for the good times, but when shit happens, it's the first to run off. Yeah. So cannot depend on him.
Yeah.
But I know I can depend on you.
Well, thank you.
And you know you can depend on me.
Yes, I do know that. Yes, I do know that. And that's the reason why I really cherish this relationship. It's you accepted who I am, good and the bad, and then you really, really make it allowing me to bring up the better version of me.
Oh.
Yeah. So I certainly feel that.
I think that's really important.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a forced thing. Like, I don't make it like my goal in life to better him.
No, it is not.
I don't do that. I think it's really more like I just really love you and really want the best for you.
Yeah.
And everything that I do or say or nudge or I don't know, but the things I do is really out of pure love.
Yes. That I totally
Not for
know.
me, selfishly, but really for you. And also for us and also our family.
Yeah.
But definitely for you.
The intention definitely is there. But
And
whether it is or not, that's another thing.
But I appreciate that you could see my intention.
Yeah.
Because I could never get that with my ex. He would never appreciate he just believes what he thinks he believes of me. I said that's not my intention, he will not take it.
Okay. Well,
Which I feel like, yeah, but when I explain myself, you believe me. And that counts a lot.
yeah, if not, why would I be in a relationship?
I don't know.
with you in
I
the
was
first
just
place,
in a
right?
relationship so long that the guy will never believe anything I say. I don't understand why, but you believe what I say, which counts a lot for me.
I think that becomes the fundamental of everything, right?
Yeah. You believe everything
You
I
believe
say.
that first. It may not appear that way, so the behavior may appear differently, but that's my interpretation, right? So, but I need to clarify.
Yeah.
Then I need to clarify, and then I also need to can speak up what really works for me and what didn't, because we both are in a very different personality,
Very
right?
different.
So the way that comes up from the mouth can be very, very blunt and attacking, and could be demeaning and insulting, right? And authoritative and all that. But I knew that she was not there to insult me.
But it sounds insulting.
It sounded so insulting. So okay, fine. So I'll take a step back and just simply understand that could come from somewhere that I probably didn't see. Seek for that clarification first.
Yeah, very guilty, it's true.
And yet at the same time, I will also share with her how it made me felt.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's how we build on a relationship. Shouldn't it be that way?
True.
Yeah. But if that trust is not there in the first place, so why would there be a relationship? So this vow, when you look into it, there's nothing in there that says so.
Just a bit. I just feel like I'm glad and I'm so happy that you believe and see and feel my intention versus how it was presented. Because it's not always presented in a silver platter, I present things like he said. And if you're stuck on the way it was presented versus the meaning, I mean the intention it came from, then it's going to be very difficult because you keep thinking I'm going to belittle you, I think less of you, or I don't know what you would think
Yeah,
of me, but it
that's
will
suddenly
be very
become, yeah,
negative.
that would be my filter, right?
Yes.
From that point on,
So,
everything I see.
Yeah, so if you only believe your perception and not being open enough to hear me out, and really see, oh yes, Lynn was doing that. Yeah, and that's why I feel that I could tell you a lot of things.
Yeah.
I may not tell you immediately because I also need to find the right frame of mind and the right space to address certain issues that I'm feeling, but they would come out at least to you whenever I'm comfortable and confident enough to talk about it.
Yes, that's true.
Because a lot of things nothing to do with him. It's just my own stuff,
Yeah.
But my own stuff would affect us.
Yeah. And so for better or worse, I think it comes with, after we communicated, can we work on it? And not just simply take it for granted, take it or leave it.
Yeah, I think that can never be a take it or leave it attitude in the marriage,
Yeah.
Yeah, I really don't think so. Like sometimes, because I get very upset and very frustrated with my kids or with the business, and sometimes it's non-stop. Like I don't have a time to break, and of course it will affect us or you because you sleep next to me, right? And my face is really not even have the I don't even have the energy to smile because I'm just so upset.
Yeah, not smiling is the least I have to worry about. It's the least I have to worry about.
Yeah, but you let me be, and after a while I'll be fine.
Yeah.
And not like make it about you or make it about something. It just, like I really am in that kind of a mode. But I'm aware that I'm in the kind of mode, and I'm trying to get. Yeah, I know because shit happens and shit keeps happening. I'm trying to get myself out of it, and I'll come back.
Yeah, I think that's what a relationship is about, right?
Myself, like I don't mean that like I really am so overwhelmed, I feel very guilty, or I feel like etc.
Yeah. So I think that's a very long way for better or worse. Yeah. So I will say I won't take it for granted. I understand and I believe the best intention and the reason why we are together. But we continue to help each other so that we can be a better version of ourselves. But at any time the relationship turns out to be a worse version and it continues to spiral down, I think that shows a lot about our relationship. And that's the time that we need to really look into it.
I think I bring up a point when, there's also the expectation. Like you think, oh yeah, we work on it, we expect things to be like that. Good. It's not. You really like take a step forward, you take a step back, you take 2 steps forward. It feels like that. It's not like, okay, we talked about it, we're done. Okay.
No,
it's not so straightforward.
That's true. And also having third parties in terms of like an independent parties like coaches to help.
Yeah, someone objective can really help. If you need to, why not? A 1 session, 2 session can really just clear a lot of pink elephants. Pink elephants? You guys know what pink elephants are?
We don't use the word pink anymore. We just simply say the elephants.
The elephant in the room.
Yeah, just bring out the elephants in the room and talk about it. And that's the reason why we created this Dharma discussions.
Just to bring up all these so-called elephants.
Yeah, just bring it up and have a conversations about it.
If they're elephants for us, I'm sure they're elephants for you.
That's a judgment.
Okay.
That's a perception.
If it's elephants for us, maybe there'll be elephants for you guys too.
So bring it up, talk about it, and see what we can learn
from each other.
Yeah.
And to be able to talk about things and to get better. Like, I wanted to bring up the point about, like, it seems like things are very good. They are, but it takes a little things every day or every other day to move. Like, because when things happen, I feel I get triggered and I go back to a certain mode because that's my habitual behavior.
Yeah.
Even with my kids,
Yes.
right? So even if I have a good period of time when I don't behave a certain way, but something happens and I fall back to that old mode which I've always been behaving.
Mhm.
So it's so easy for someone that does. I say, see, you now improve all this time, you're still the same person. But I know I've been making an effort to be better at a certain situation. It's just not perfect yet. And it's not going to be perfect immediately. I guess that's what I'm trying to share through my own experience, that I'm aware what I'm doing. I'm aware what I need to be doing. And it's a process, right? It's not like, you want to just change your certain reactional behavior like this. You can just get it done perfectly, 100% forever.
Yeah.
It takes a little bit, but I see it improving. But though I still fall back from time to time.
Yeah, I think that's the part that I now that I've gone into this life coaching. To me, the result is just simply as an indicator of something. It's a data for us to analyze. But what really is important is the process, the effort, the energy you put behind to improve. And then it's always fine-tuning. There will never be a perfect moment.
No.
It's a lifelong journey.
Yeah, it is. It really is. I'm also like just thinking about things, and I know sometimes you're like telling me how you feel about certain things, and I'm like, I know, and I'm working on it. And then you would not harp on it anymore because I don't want to hear it. Because if I tell you I'm on it or I'm aware of it and I'm doing my best, I feel assured because you believe what I'm saying.
Oh, yes.
And not just saying, and not like she's just saying it, but she's not actually doing anything about it.
Yeah, I personally don't like to nag.
Yeah, and I don't like to be like that. So, but when I tell you something, you believe me, and it makes me feel good because I like to be believed when I tell someone something, because I feel like I'm a very trustworthy person. And I hate it when someone doubt me. I really hate it when someone doubt what I say. I feel very insulted, but you don't. So it helps me a lot.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I just want to say that.
Thank you. Okay. So, for better or for worse, I think that's our discussions about it. So, when we look into the whole sentence now,
Of the vow,
the
traditional vow,
it is a very nicely written.
1 minute long-ish.
It's actually less than a minute.
A half a minute long-ish sentence you would say to each other.
But to me, it doesn't really mean the promise that I really want to make.
Yeah, in front to you and in front of my witnesses.
No.
This feels again too all-encompassing and something that I feel I may not be able to live up to. Yeah. I don't think you may not be able to live up to it as well.
No.
It's not, I think, something possible for someone in this.
Well, we don't know. But to me, if now that I know, because I made it once, and it really did not work out, it hurts many. And if I were to make a vow again, will I use this version? I don't want to deliver empty promises.
Yeah, neither do I.
Yeah. So definitely it's my vow, my promise to you is the honesty. About the relationship, about how I feel about you, and about us. And I will continue to work on it until this relationship no longer exists.
For me, this statement had helped me for a long time. And it gave me lots of sadness when my first marriage didn't hold up to it. because I was looking at this as the expectation to have on both parties. So now, like, looking at it now, after all these years, I don't feel the same way for it anymore. And I will not use this for our vow either. I will definitely write something that I want to promise. I would definitely promise.
Yeah.
And I'm someone who likes to do what I promise, so it's really important.
Yes, I think it's a vow that I can deliver. I meant it, and it's real to me, right? It's not just simply something
I
idealistic.
look forward to hearing it.
Okay, well, let's see.
So, I think that kind of sums up today.
Yes. So,
Thank you everyone for your comments. Those of you who've commented, mainly two, but it's okay. I know you're very shy, some of you, but it's okay.
Thank you for joining us.
You can message me privately later. You can write to us.
And next week we're going to talk about what?
Oh, I found this topic very interesting. The 5 love languages.
Oh dear.
Are you guys aware of it by this Gary Chapman?
Yeah.
He created the 5 love languages. So we just wanted to dissect it a little bit. What are these 5? What is yours? What is mine? Do they work? Does it really help? I don't know. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
The 5
I think it's more.
languages.
If you really want to engage in next week's,
Go to the test online. It's free.
Yes, do go through the test, and then we can talk about it.
The 5 love languages. Go check it out online by Gary Chapman. And there's a free little test you can do. Click multiple choice, and you can find out what is your love language.
Yeah. What was your first? Affirmation, right?
Touch and words of affirmation.
Okay.
Physical touch and words of affirmation.
Yeah, mine is physical touch and quality time.
At least got one commonality lah.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. So until next week.
Until next week.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you,
I'll see you next
guys.
week. Bye.
Bye.